Cavin Elizabeth, a wedding photographer based in San Diego, and today I have a very exciting video for you guys. I'm not only going to be giving you some great tips for how to get through your planning with less stress, but I'm also going to be doing a giveaway. So go ahead and watch the tips first, and then the last half of the video is going to be all about the giveaway, what you're going to get, how it's going to make your life easier, and exactly how to enter. So to start off this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about how to make your wedding planning easier and less stressful and more manageable. Now, it can be really tough with wedding planning. Most couples have only done this one time, so everything is new to them, whereas for me, I see this time and time again. So it's a lot easier for me to go through this process. So today I'm going to help you guys kind of navigate this, make it a little bit more manageable. And the number one thing that you guys should do when you get ready to start planning your wedding is to have a to-do list of everything that needs to be done. Now, I think that there are some really great to-do lists out there online. Places like The Knot have some. If you hire a wedding planner, they might use a service called Aisle Planner that gives you a to-do list. Zola does it. Like all over the world, there are several different wedding planning to-do lists. I will say that taking a look at them from my point of view as an experienced wedding photographer, not all of their steps are necessary, so just pick and choose the ones that you find to be relevant to you. So that is my first tip, is make your to-do list. That way you know everything you're supposed to do, and preferably you know when you're supposed to be doing them. So that is just a really great way to start your planning process. Now, the second thing that you need to make sure to do is to set expectations for who is going to be responsible for planning what. So I personally don't think it's fair if it's only the bride or only the groom doing 100% of the planning, unless that's something they really want to do, or there's extenuating circumstances where perhaps their fiance is overseas in the army and military, something like that, or their job does not allow them any free time whatsoever. So you just have to talk about this as a couple. What is fair to you? For me personally, I did not want to do 100% of the planning. Even though I could and I would get it done quickly, for me that was just overwhelming. I didn't find it to be fair to take on 100%, so my fiance and I split up certain tasks. We decided who was going to do what. So for example, I told him he was in charge of the music. So I gave him a couple of names because I already know people in this industry, but if I didn't, he would have had to find options. But then after I gave him those options, he talked to them on the phone, gave different notes about them to me, and I just said, just handle it. So he did everything with that. He hired them, he chose who to go with, and that was really fantastic. He also assembled all the save the dates. I have been doing a lot of the larger scale stuff, especially things that have to do with design, because I'm more interested in that and he doesn't care as much about that. So just kind of find ways to break it up, make it feel fair to both of you. It should not feel like a burden. If you feel like you're doing too much, you need to have a talk with your partner and ask them to contribute in whatever way, shape, or form. Another thing my fiance did was he handled the entire honeymoon planning, and that for me was really helpful. I started out doing it, and then I just said, I cannot do all of this. I'm doing so much else stuff. So really just make it fair. Make it so that you guys aren't resenting each other for one person not doing as much work. So as long as you set those expectations in the beginning, then you should really set yourself up for success along the road. One of my top tips, and this is going to be the last big one, this is actually something that I learned from one of my couples whose weddings I photographed last year. And what they did I thought was really neat and a very amazing way to be very organized about their wedding planning was they set up one night a week. So for example, Monday or Tuesday, and every single week, that Monday was going to be dedicated to wedding planning. So they would sit down at whatever time of day they agreed upon, and they would work on wedding plans for however much time they said they were going to do it every single Monday. So because they knew that Monday was wedding planning night, they weren't scheduling other things, they weren't going out with friends, they weren't doing sporting events, whatever it may be. That was their night to get stuff done. And they said that that tremendously helped them because it was a distraction-free time where all they did was work on wedding plans. So they were able to get through it very quickly, and it felt less stressful because they had this time to sit down. They carved it out of their schedules. They both knew the expectations going in that Mondays were going to be wedding planning, getting down to business, no slacking off, just gonna get stuff done, check things off the list. And so they told me that was very helpful. And so I've always thought that was an amazing strategy. Now, I'm not saying you need to do this every week. There might be times in the beginning of your planning where you need to do this every week. And then you might go through a time where I'm in right now with my own wedding planning where there's not much to do. So we're not really doing anything right now. But then come November and December, we will have to ramp back up. So I think that's a fantastic way to make sure that you're keeping on track with everything. Now, as far as the whole wedding planning goes in general, I do always recommend having a wedding planner. If you are a little bit tighter on your budget, I still think it's a great idea to at minimum have a day of coordinator, but you're really going to get a lot more value if you hire somebody for month of, partial planning, or full planning. That's just amazing. I think it's so helpful. I have so many brides who in the past had not had coordinators, and they have said that was their biggest regret for their wedding, that they did not have somebody to help plan and help coordinate, and it was just a lot more stress for them. And I will make a whole different video on the fact that the venue coordinator is not the same thing as your own personal coordinator or planner. So that's just for another video. It's too much to say about that. But again, if you feel like things are too much for you, then I really recommend hiring a planner. They're really going to help pull their weight and help you out in this process to make you feel less stressed. They're going to help you make better decisions. They're going to help you save money by telling you things you don't need to do or better ways to do certain things. But most of all, they're going to give you peace of mind, and they're going to make you feel a lot more relaxed, and you're going to enjoy the process much more if you have them. So that is just my overarching tip. And the last thing I'll say is just when it comes to planning your wedding, find a method that works for you. If you like to have everything written down physically in your hands, if you are still a physical planner type person, go it that way. If you like to do things online with online spreadsheets and online checklists and everything there, do it that way. So find whatever way works best for you. Don't try to force yourself into something your friend said you should be doing. Find and experiment and do everything you need to do to make this very enjoyable for yourselves. The wedding planning should not be as stressful as everybody always makes it out to be. This should be a fun time. I think personally, if you stop thinking about it as this like very high strings attached wedding thing, and you just think about it as planning a party that happens to be really big and amazing and celebrating the two of you, sometimes that can kind of bring you back down to earth and make it a little bit more manageable and kind of easy to swallow. And you can kind of take the tension out of yourselves and just kind of relax and enjoy it a little bit more. So those are all of my tips for how to make wedding planning more efficient, more organized, and more enjoyable and less stressful. So now we're actually going to jump right into the giveaway. I'm so excited for this giveaway today. It's going to be really fantastic for brides and grooms who are mostly in their initial or at least middle parts of planning. If you're almost done, this probably is not going to be a giveaway you want to enter. I definitely want this to be more for couples who have a lot more planning to go. And you'll see why, because I am going to be giving away this lovely, lovely wedding planning book from Flutco Papery. And this is a book that I looked through. I think it is really beautiful. It's well done. It feels very high quality. It's got this beautiful feel to the cover. It's got this really exquisite like gold embossed lettering that I just love the feel of. But this is a book that is going to be really helpful for those of you who love writing things down and you love the physical planning books. So I'll just show you guys a little peek inside. They have this really beautiful end paper, just kind of like gets me in the mood for flowers, and I think it's so fun. This is definitely a book that I would say is a little bit more geared towards brides, but I find that most of my couples, at least, the bride is the one who is more excited about the process or the one who is planning. Not all the time, but I would say probably 9 times out of 10. So in this book, we have a table of contents so that you guys can really get a look at what's going to be in here and what's going to be covered. So we have your monthly to-dos starting all the way from a year out to days before the wedding. We also have a section on the budget, and then your vendors, so your dress, your photographer, your planner, all that sort of stuff. And then there's an entire section all about the guest, which I actually thought was really neat. So I can show you guys that. They have a really great place where you can write out all of your guest list, and you can also do your seating chart in there as well. So you have room here to write out all of your guests and what you've sent out to them, and if you have received their RSVP yet. They did have an entire section on the seating chart. This is just a really cool book. I liked the different sections it had. It has little blank pages where you can put in your inspiration, which I thought was really neat. They also have a section with some vow ideas. So if you are somebody who has been kind of struggling with the vows and what maybe to say, this can get you inspired for it, which I think is really helpful. So this really has everything. It even has a section on the honeymoon. I've been really enjoying it, and if I wasn't so far into my own wedding planning, I would definitely buy a copy for myself to keep. But thankfully, Flute Papery has sent me this copy to give to you guys. So all you need to do to enter is make sure that you're subscribed. I will be verifying. And then after you have subscribed, make sure you hit that little bell for notifications so that you guys don't miss future videos. And the last thing you need to do is in the comments, tell me what your wedding date is, and then let me know why you would love to have this planner. So that's it, guys. Again, just subscribe, make sure you hit the bell to get the notifications, and then in the comments down below, let me know when your wedding date is and why you would love to have this planner, and then I will be announcing the giveaway in just about a week and a half, so you guys have plenty of time to watch this, get your entries in, and then check out my other videos as well so that you guys can get a lot of different tips and help for your own wedding planning. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, and good luck to you!